Welcome back and thanks again for joining us. The official proceedings are done and dusted, at least for today. It's now time for festivities and celebrations are indeed in order. I'm now joined by the Premier of the province of Gauteng, Mr. David Makhura. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Ayanda.
You've specifically chosen to stand next to the statues of Utata Walter Sisulu and Mamu Albertina right here. Why?
I feel very protected standing right here. They are behind me. And you know, they represent something very distinct in the struggle for freedom in our country. Firstly, a partnership that was unbreakable. The loyalty to the people, to the struggle, but to each other. They represent the value system that as we build our country going forward, we should from time to time just reflect on how much our practices as leaders are close or far away from what they would do, their commitment to the people, and their simplicity and humility is something very, very important. So I feel very safe when I'm here. I've come to my pilgrimage to confess my sins.
And, you know, they look like they're just about to embrace you. That's just how realistic these statues look. But you touched on something that I think is very profound, that many times as leaders, people only consider the outward works that they do, the job on the ground, but not the personal and the private. And when you speak about the relationship between the two of them and the longevity thereof, you also said something to me off air that you think as leaders you should come here to reflect, to perhaps be accountable, whether or not you're still living up to the ideals of what they espoused. As a leader, how important is this freedom walk, I suppose, to you?
Well, the National Heritage Monument, this, when it's complete, is going to represent one of those safe, sacred public spaces. Sacred because it would be a place where we have the best galaxy of men and women who fought for freedom, from those who participated in the anti-colonial wars, the wars of resistance, up to those who led us to a free South Africa. So this is going to be a space where I will encourage that we as leaders and servants of the people, civil society, government, politics, all leaders, we should see this place as a place to visit at least once every year, to come and reflect in the quiet and safe space here, reflect about where our country has come from and how much ground are we covering to a South Africa of their dreams, but also reflect on our own practices, our own work, and to ask ourselves the fundamental but difficult question about how close are we staying to the values that they represent, and how much are we working for the South Africa that we are yet to realize. So this is going to be a great place, because this is a garden of leadership. But it is also when it's complete, it's going to be a place where families should be coming here. There'll be entertainment facilities for kids. After walking through here with the children to teach them about history, there will be a lot of places for children to play here, for families to hang around. So it's a beautiful thing for our country, because heritage is an important resource. Investing in this garden and in this monument, it's truly what it is. It's an investment, because heritage resources are that critical part of the nation's assets that we must always protect and preserve. And we must invest in that, because we are what our heritage is. And by heritage, we mean the totality of our heritage. That's why when I spoke earlier, I said I don't support the destruction of the statues and the monuments and the symbols of apartheid and colonialism. They shouldn't be destroyed, because they should be part of our history for the future generations to see, at least have, even if they hadn't experienced it directly, have a sense of what was apartheid. So if we destroy or remove these symbols and monuments of apartheid and colonialism. How else would the future generations understand what apartheid was? But side by side with these old monuments, including those that represent the bad part of our history, we need to create new symbols of the South Africa we want, the symbols that represent our values and the kind of society we are building. And this, the National Heritage Monument, is that new symbol. Freedom Park is also the new symbol. So the new symbols existing side by side with the old ones is the best way to preserve our heritage. And that's very important, because a nation that affirms its heroes, it affirms itself. And we can't be a self-respecting people if we don't respect our heritage. And we don't respect those who came before us, particularly those who contributed and sacrificed enormously for us to be what we are today. We are not yet where we want to be, but we are a much better country. And that's part of recreating and reimagining and redefining ourselves as a people.
And I love the fact that it's all-encompassing. So it's not just your ANC heroes who are here. We have Steve Biko's statue that is here as well. You mentioned the likes of Robert Sobukwe. We have David Stearman from the Khoisan. We have a wide variety. I mean, I said to you, my personal favorite, when I saw King Faku, I thought to myself, my goodness, this is all-encompassing. It's not party or partisan.
It's not partisan. This is the best galaxy of what South Africa can produce, has produced, the men and women who have walked here on our shores. That's why, for me, South Africa is a sacred place. We must protect our country. The first act of self-respect is respecting your own country. We must, the people who came before, as you would see here, they were an outstanding galaxy of men and women. Charlotte Maxeke, from Charlotte Maxeke on the women's side, someone who obtained a university degree as an African woman in an era where taking a girl child to a university was unimaginable, it was unthinkable. From there to leader Steve Biko, as you see there, and then the leaders of the PAC, the leaders of the ANC, the religious leaders who participated in the struggle for freedom, the kings who participated in the anti-colonial struggles. So you see that when it is complete, and the 400 of them may still not be enough.
So we'll still be saying we like the likes of David Makhura in one of the statues there, or somebody else.
I don't think I deserve that. And the important question is that you recognize, we recognize those who did something wonderful. So if you do something wonderful, it's not for you to recognize yourselves. It must be others who come many years later who say there's something that you served the people well. And you don't serve because you want recognition. You just want to make a difference. These men and women did not know that we will recognize them. I know that Sisulu used to say, I'm a simple man, just dedicated to the struggle for our people. That's all they were doing, simple and dedicated.
We'll have to leave it there, at least for now.
We want to be simple and committed to serve our people.
And we'll make a statue in your honor years to come along the line.
I don't think I deserve it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Premier. We'll let history judge us in the future generation. They'll look back and check whether or not that certain premier in 2015 did his work. But Mr. Premier, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to leave it there, at least for now. We will try and see if we can squeeze one or two more, but time permitting, perhaps we'll be able to bring you another glimpse or two as we say goodbye in just a moment. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.